Steve, do you like heavier bands like metal or black metal or punk or anything like that? That kind?
I have a slightly crippled appreciation for heavy metal. Like when I came of age in music in the late 70s,
Mm-hmm.
I basically just laughed at heavy metal. I thought it was absurd and ridiculous. And it's taken me a very long time um, to give any of that music a fair hearing. I now quite like Black Sabbath, especially like some of the live footage I've seen of young Black Sabbath, I think is really astonishing. I really like AC/DC in the classic period. There's a handful of really stunning moments in Led Zeppelin's catalog, like that sort of old school classic hard rock,
Mm-hmm.
sort of proximate heavy metal stuff,
Yeah,
Motorhead, things like that. I think can be quite engaging. Cool. Like as soon as they go high,
for sure. Yeah.
There's I'm drawing a blank now because I can't remember this band name, but there was a post-punk band from, I want to say Chapel Hill, who called their album The White Octave, because that was the generic term for a white dude trying to be dramatic in a heavy metal band with it.
Yeah.
And that's really, really hard to bear for me. Like
for sure.
There is literally one band that incorporated that kind of like shrieking singing whose riffs I admire, and it's the band Budgie, who have some of the most slaying, most absolutely taco riffs, and they have this like reedy high voice over the top of it. I think what I like about that dude singing in that context is that he's kind of bad at it.
Yeah,
and it does.
That's cool. Yeah,
not Bruce Dickinson. It's absolutely not Bruce Dickinson. It's absolutely not. Like what's his fuck from Rainbow?
Oh, a Dio?
Yeah, absolutely. There's none of that. It's like a guy whose voice is kind of thin and reedy, and he's fucking going for it, and it just sounds raspy. So like the heavy stuff that I like is all either like extremely old guy music. I mean, I'm quite old. I'm going to be 60 years old this summer.
Right.
So like it's all either very old hard rock stuff, like that kind of stuff, or like the contemporary music that kind of references that the sort of the classic golden hard rock era. Like I quite like bands like Sleep and High on Fire and
cool.
To a lesser extent, like some of the other sort of doomy, heavy kind of bands. I did an album with the band Sun, and their riffs are fucking monstrous. Like really, just
crushing.
Yeah, just impeccable riffs, and I specifically appreciate that it takes like 10 or 15 minutes to get through the riff. Like that's one of the things
right
about them. Yeah. Like they tax your attention span. They don't just like doodle it out for you,
Right.
You have to display some patience to find out what each note is, and that I really appreciated. There was a band that was kind of informed by that Sabbathy sort of stuff in the 90s and early 2000s called Dead Meadow, who had that quality of like being very elastic with the riffs. Like the riffs were really lazy to get out. Like it wasn't just like a riff and then a vocal line and then another riff and a vocal line. It was like they'd let you wallow in it for a good long time.
Wallow is a good word. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That is an aspect of, if I'm looking for some kind of hard rock to listen to, what I'm looking for is that sort of immersive quality, where what I'm listening to is going to demand my attention rather than something that just sort of fits a paradigm and kind of sounds like Priest or whatever. Like I don't really, or like kind of sounds like Metallica or like kind of fits in an idiomatic like hole. Like that kind of shit doesn't do anything for me. I mean, And part of that is like a sociological thing. Like the people that were into that kind of music that were around me when I was forming my appreciation for music in punk rock, like those people were fucking idiots, and they were assholes, and they were like brain dead people that I didn't want to have anything to do with. So anything that they liked was off limits because they were fucking idiots, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it's taken me a long time to develop my own appreciation for any of that stuff.
Right. That makes sense. That makes sense.